So in the first class, we checked what is Java. Okay. What do we learn? What is it? Programming language. Then it's a object oriented. Okay. Then why it is a platform independent. What is JVM? Okay.
Yes.
What happens when we create the Java, compile it? If there is no error, it will convert to the bytecode. That is welcome.class is the example. So dot class file will be created and this will be the input for the JVM. Okay. Now then we went to the basic programming structure standards. What standard we use? Okay. Always follow the syntax rules of Java programming. Case sensitive language. Umakant are different. Every statement ends with semicolon. This. Okay. Everything I will share these notes with you also. Okay. So nomenclature is very important. Then what is class and object? We checked is the nothing but the blueprint of object. Class will never get a memory assigned. This is very much important statement. Okay. Then class is encapsulating data members and member functions. Member functions means the data is there, you will process it. It is like that you have a bank account. Okay, you have a bank account and the balance is your data. So transaction making the withdrawal and deposit is the function we will create on that. Okay. So data members and member functions. The class is user defined data type. We can say like this. Okay. So what is object? Whatever we declare defined here in class, it is runtime getting created here. Okay. Like you will create an architecture of your home and when you give it to the constructor or builder, it will create it. Okay. So object is nothing but your home or object is a runtime entity on which the all methods are getting called. When I was saying that class is your account, the balance is your data, and transaction on that balance is your member function. So your account is object, and whatever the transaction you will do it on it, okay, it is getting called on the object. Okay, your account. So then I gave you how to create the object. So by using the new keyword, we create object, or by doing the cloning or copying the object, we can create the objects. Okay. Then we went to the keywords of Java. So I told you what is static. Then final I introduced. Okay, I have not mentioned it here. Final I have introduced it. Then accessibility, that is known as a modifier. I can say that is a public, private, protected. And if you don't mention anything, that is a default. That is a default. Yeah. So that we saw this also. Then there are keywords like a void, then int, char, okay, object, not object, but char.
Yes.
I can say like if.
Extend.
Boolean.
Sorry.
Boolean.
Yeah, boolean. Yeah, boolean is a keyword that is defining the data type. Right. These type of keywords are there. Okay. So you cannot use this as a name or the name of the function or variable. Okay. Those are having proper internal meaning for that. Okay. So these keyword used. Okay. These keywords cannot be used for any other purpose. Okay. Then when I will say this,
Okay.
then we saw that actually we saw the inheritance after that. Okay. So object-oriented concept, encapsulation, class binding, data and processing of the data together. Okay. Class means what? It does the binding of the data and processing of data together. Inheritance is a parent-child relation. Okay. Means why we do the inheritance? Reduce the code. Okay. What happened?
Yes.
Yes, Umesh.
Yes, sir.
Have you said something right now? Okay, 8, 9. You joined that time you ping me. Okay.
No, 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 no.
Okay, no issue. So parent-child relation is there, that is inheritance. Okay. And it will help to reduce the code. You will not write the same code again and again. By using the inheritance concept, you will write it. Okay, you will utilize it, reuse it. So Java does not support multiple inheritance. For that purpose, it has given the interface as a concept, abstraction and interface. Okay, not abstraction but interface only. For multiple inheritance, they have given the interface concept, and that is very important. So by using the abstraction, we just use genericity. By interface, you can make the things standardized. Okay. So when you create an object, you store the objects into collections. Okay, I can say array, but array will have a limited size. Okay, but collection can grow gradually. So I told you the inheritance and how we call the superclass as a parent class as a superclass, child class as a derived class. Okay, so that we saw. Then we went to the polymorphism. There are two types of polymorphism. One is runtime, one is a compile time. Okay, so compile time means the call to that function is binded while compile time only. And runtime means when you create the dot class file and when you put the input, some input is there. Depend on the situation, the binding of object or a function call to that on that object is getting decided. Means we can use like a or and conditions. And means both are required. And or means anyone be feasible. Like that only compile time is by default it is required. It is getting called to that function only, not to any other. But runtime is it may call that function or the copy of that function. Okay. It is a dynamic polymorphism, or we can say runtime polymorphism. Static polymorphism means compile time polymorphism. It is in the same class. Static polymorphism is possible in the same class only. Okay, when function name and return type of functions are same in a class, it is known as a function overloading. For that also, we saw the example like sum function or subtract function like this we created in the same class. Okay, when runtime polymorphism comes into picture, it is always in the inheritance class. Okay, there should be a easy relation in classes. Then only runtime polymorphism